Who's the J around you?
My husband.
Tell me a little about your husband.
He just recently passed.
Okay. Is it now this is how I work so everybody understands. If I go to this or I touch a part of my body, I'm referring to the person that I'm talking about. What I'm being shown is the chest region. So was his difficulty, now when I use the word chest, it could be that if it were a disease or uncomfortable, it could be that it came from another area, but I'm picking on the chest. All right. So, and don't answer me until I come back to you, okay? Tell me about fire.
Fire.
Okay.
Fire. Means something.
Okay. Are you a fixer?
A fixer.
Of people, you're a fixer.
Yeah.
So you go around putting out the fires.
Probably, yeah.
That's what we're looking for. The month of April, what does it mean? Now, April,
Yeah.
what is it?
My grandchildren were born in April.
And that's an important thing.
Yeah.
Whose birthday or anniversary is coming up?
What month is it?
February.
My daughter's and the closest one in May.
Okay. Anything prior to this?
Two.
Anything closer to where we are now? We're in February, anything?
Just the grandchildren in April.
What does roses mean to you?
My granddaughter's name
Okay.
is Rosie.
Now, if I come over, I'm not looking for you to jump up.
Okay.
All right. So if I do this to anyone, I'm not getting. I didn't tell my story about the toupee, will I? I just wanted to. Whatever you're asking for, you're going to receive.
Okay.
So, okay, I got to come back to you. What was your dream to be?
To own an art gallery.
Okay. You have a model?
Have I? No.
Okay. If you own an art gallery, what would you do?
Educate.
Okay. Give me your birthday, James.
July 3rd.
Your birthday?
November 25th.
Let's go back to modeling.
Uh-huh.
What does modeling mean to you?
It's not about, for me, it's not about something else. It's a selfish thing.
Okay,
It's
give
an
me the
indulgence.
All right.
It's
And
a
do you-
snake. It's a demon.
How do you mean that?
It's something that's vain.
Okay.
So,
Are you vain?
yeah.
Yes, I know you are. I
Yeah.
recognize that.
You want me to say it? Go ahead. I have no problem saying
The job
it.
is to get you to, my job is to pick a little bit.
Yeah, but
and
I
get you to
said
say it. All right. What do you do presently?
My job is to make the best out of other people. Where I work right now, is finding the value in other people to make them the best possible version of themselves that they can be.
Okay. Tell me about your mom.
She's Tough.
Is that why you have a tough exterior but marshmallow interior?
Probably.
You had trouble with your hip?
Yeah.
Okay. Dana, life hasn't always been the best for you, but like 1.5 years from now, things are gonna start to open up and change for you. And I know it sounds like a long time, but it's not, because there's shit that you need to get rid of. The word should means I shit on you. So you're never really, you're not supposed to spiritual, you're not supposed to use that word. But I use any words that I like.
I like that.
So you're going to make changes. There's a lot of wonderful changes that you're going to be making. And you said about the Sagittarius and the Cancerian, and one is rough on the other. But it's not really. It's like cult, because sometimes to get something out of a Cancerian, you have to really pull on them. But when you get angry, that Cancerian's off and running.
Yep.
But when you're not angry, he's coming back and he's kissing and hugging and doing whatever they have to do, which is very warm. What do you do for a living?
I'm in finance.
You do something that's legal, or you have something legal coming up?
My mom actually is taking care of a close family friend who's fairly old, and a few days before Christmas, she was there. She was cooking her dinner, and the police came, or actually a social worker came that wasn't scheduled. She brought her in. The social worker was making the person uncomfortable, so my mom told her to get out. The person came back with police, and they were talking at the door, and she said she didn't want to let them in, and they said, well, come in or we're going to arrest you. She goes, okay, let me go tell the woman that you're coming in. And as she turned around, 4 officers jumped on her, and she got hurt, so she has to go to court now.
Who has difficulty hearing?
I don't think
Dad.
anybody. Oh, my dad, yeah, I guess. He's not deaf.
Easy.
Hearing or understanding?
No.
Sometimes my mom doesn't understand.
What happens is, I don't know what I'm saying because I just don't know what I'm saying. But when I'm hooking into the person, whatever universe is saying, or whatever our loved ones are saying, I'm repeating. So it's up to the person to pull it, you have to almost pull it out of them, but it's not really like she helped him.
No.
Right. This year for you, it's a 9, so it's a lot of shit you gotta get rid of. Cancerians could be very private. They have their own little box somewhere in the head where they store all their little private stuff. We need to open that up a little bit and let some of the old crap go. You understand that? Did you play football?
No.
What sport did you play?
Well, so I played football a lot with a lot of my friends that were.
So you did play, not professional. I'm not looking for something
Yeah.
that's professional, that
Yeah.
you're a football player. Do you have trouble with your spine?
Yes.
Okay. The lower part?
Yeah.
Okay. What I did, if you see me shrug my shoulders, I'm asking them for information. They're giving it to me, meaning spirit is giving it to me, and I shrug my shoulders because I didn't understand what they were saying. What does Chicago mean to you?
Well, we were kind of talking about Chicago before. It's where some of Dana's, I guess, corporate leaders are stationed at.
That's when I shrugged my shoulders, because why would I just be told Chicago when I don't have an answer to it? I don't understand this. Let me, next year is the beginning of a wonderful new life for you. You're not going anywhere. That doesn't mean that you're going to disappear. Next year's wonderful changes, a big career change, good and great thing. This year you're going to just coast at what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, just coast with it and don't get angry or disappointed, because if you go for the golden ring this year, you're not gonna get it. Next year, just plant what you're doing slowly. You got it? Laura, who in the family had heart problem?
Well, my dad. Sorta, okay.
Or someone have a stroke?
My mom.
I don't assume, so everyone understands this, I don't assume when somebody is crossed over. I ask. Who is crossed over?
Both of them.
Okay. Just to be sure, not that I'm saying that you do, did you have a health issue?
I have several health issues.
Give me one of your health issues.
I have serious back issues, back problems.
Okay.
I have a whole host of issues due to a problem with my autonomic nervous system.
Okay.
Heart,
That's where I'm going,
digestion,
because
everything.
I didn't mean for you to, I'm not prying, but I don't like to say to somebody, you know, there's a problem here in the chest region. But that doesn't mean that you're leaving Earth now, all right? First, we gotta love ourselves before you go any place. You understand that? What is it with you wallpaper?
Wallpaper? I'm a decorator.
You have siblings?
Yes,
How many do you have?
2.
Two and a brother and a sister?
No,
I'm trying to give you, no, I'm saying it wrong. How many children did your mother have?
My mother had 3 children.
Right here, 3 children. Do you remember Gina Tay? Who wore Gina Tay?
I think we all had, I had it, my mom had
Yeah,
it. We
That's
all-
that's what I'm looking for.
We all had that, yeah.
Did your mother like to bake?
Oh,
Yeah, because I smell
And
baking
cook.
on my hand. Are you a crybaby?
Oh, I cry, yeah, I cry a lot. I certainly am.
Out of your siblings, do you cry the most?
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
that's what your mother said.
Most definitely.
Most of my information I get is I'm getting it from spirit, from your loved one. So you notice I moved away from you for a reason, so you were easier to pick on, not really. You have animals? No animals. You get along with both these siblings?
Yes.
Did someone cross near a holiday? Who crossed near that holiday?
My husband.
Okay, so we gotta go back there, even though you're gonna cry. Was he able to say goodbye to you?
No.
No, because that's why I went this way to you earlier, touched my throat, because I couldn't say goodbye. You understand that? If I do this to you, What does it remind you of? Okay. Every time you get down or upset over the loss, I want you to do this and feel him near you because he's very much around you. Were you in the middle of, not contracting, but in the middle of changing things? Were you left like in a little bit of a mess? Okay. Is your mess straightening out?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. I want you to be a little more positive. And it's hard to be positive, but you have to be a little, to get everything and organize this, I don't know. His underwear drawer.
Yes.
Oh. Now, I went like this because I'm answering, now what are you telling me?
That's good.
What does number 7 mean to you? 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months?
It's the month I was born,
What's your birthday?
7/20.
We know that he's fine. We know that your mom and your loved ones are fine.
I want to know if it was my dad's time to go.
Why would you ask that?
Because he shouldn't have died.
I have to go a little more before I answer that.
Because they made a mistake at the hospital and he died.
I already wrote the answer down. So if you want the honest answer, I will give it to you directly. How long is your father gone?
2.5 months.
All right. And what did they give him?
They gave him potassium chloride. And he was a dialysis patient. It stopped his heart.
So what I wrote down, and sometimes it's very hard for me to, I don't want to be a prick about it and just come out and blatantly say something. It's not really the right thing for me to do, but it's an accident. Killed him.
It was an accident.
All right, so that's what I was given. There's an accident, and meaning whatever they gave him, they didn't literally mean to kill him.
No, they didn't mean
But
to.
now, universe doesn't give us 1 day more, 1 day less. When they go in and they save a person's life, that life was meant to be saved. When someone dies, meaning they're meant to leave this earth plane. We don't just, leave. When people say that person's hovering around or they're hanging around, they're not really hanging around. They're just making visits like you get. You understand? If a bell sounds, or something electronic works, or television, radio, the bell, he's visiting. Even though you didn't get to say goodbye, he came to say goodbye. Do you understand that? So going to your father, tell me about father's beard.
No, he
No, there's a reason why I'm asking you. Who shaved him?
He pretty much shaved himself. Sometimes the home care girls did.
Very neat man.
He used to like to shave. Yeah, he liked to be
That's
clean.
what I need to know. So he's in the heavenly realm shaving over there. Still shaving. Where are you from, Steve?
Pennsylvania?
Oh, this
area.
We are in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
Steve, you love yourself?
Trying to.
Try. I asked that. You disappointed?
Yes.
Okay. There's choices you need to make, Steve, that you will make. But you allow, give me your date of birth.
May 9th.
Your mother's dead.
Yes.
You were close to Mom? Mom is, where is Mom?
She's here.
She's with us. Let's go to your grandmother. I'm looking for a female that you were very close to. Now, this doesn't have to be a relative. This could be a very good friend, a confidant. You know anybody like that?
I know someone, but it's not as you're suggesting.
Okay. Steve, was it a male? Your confidant? Your friend?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have trouble with your stomach, Steve?
It's just too big.
Did your friend have trouble with their stomach?
No.
No, okay. Are you concerned about me saying something that would make you uncomfortable?
Not at all.
Okay. Just to be clear, Steve, the person that was close to you is no longer here? Or they're living? Or they consider you dead?
No.
No to what?
To all.
Wait a minute, that was...
We're not on the same wavelength right now.
Okay, that's what I'm... Living here, not here. Yeah? All right, same wavelength. We have a person that's living, correct?
Yes.
All right. We have a person that does this person think like a female?
I don't know. Are you speaking of somebody that's passed?
Could be somebody that's passed. I'm a little mixed up with you. That's
I'm mixed up as well.
all right. Because you gave me an answer to a question. I said, are they living, they're dead? And your response was neither. So I got mixed up.
You're speaking of somebody that I'm close to.
Right.
A female that I'm close to. I'm close to my mom, but I'm close to another family member, but it's not.
All right. Let me come back to you because
Please.
we got to restart. So
Okay.
forget about anything I said because something is just not there. It's just not connected. I'm still trying to move away from you, Steve. So when I say move away from you, meaning not move away from the person, kind of, because I have the story, but I got the story a little mixed up here, and I don't know why it's mixed up. Let me let it go for now. We talked about self-love. Now Steve says, what about self-love?
Sometimes.
Okay. You think people like you, Steve?
I don't know.
Okay. We have 10 people in the room, and every person in this room is going to tell you that I love you. But it doesn't have to be in a sexual way. It means they love their fellow human being. But what happens when you walk in a room, Steve, and you don't love yourself? You're telling everybody in that room, what? Don't like me. You have someone in your life, Steve? Who do you have in your life?
Mark.
Mark, okay. That's what I was getting at earlier, and I was trying to be very careful because I don't know what you want people. It's an open forum, And we're not ashamed of anything that we do in this world. How does Mark treat you?
Wonderfully.
How do you treat Mark?
I try to treat him with the same respect, and it doesn't always work out that way.
Explain to me why.
I think I take him for granted.
What's your date of birth?
May 9th,
Right, give me your year I want.
62.
Who abused you? Okay. Who abused you?
I don't think I've ever been abused.
How do I mean abused, Steve?
Well, I'm thinking sexually, but
No, there's all kinds of abuse.
I think verbally I've been abused.
Okay. I'm going to go to the age of 9, somewhere around your 9th birthday.
Yes.
Who was that?
My father?
Was your father abusive verbally?
Yes.
Was he not kind to you?
Sometimes.
Okay. So now, where is father?
He's gone.
All right. Are you happy that he's gone?
No.
No, okay. You're very sympathetic, and I like that about you. We don't have to be happy or disappointed that that person is gone. But sometimes that person from the other side comes in to say they're sorry for all the bullshit they created. And I have to say, you have siblings?
Yes.
How many?
2.
2. So there's 1, I only have 1. Are you not close to 1?
Yes.
Okay. So, as far as...
Can you handle the tissue?
You ever go to therapy, Steve? I know you have. This is the quickest therapy I can give anybody. And you have to let go. Now, Mark is nice to you, all right? Because sometimes some people paint this beautiful mural. I don't know if you're that type of
He's
person.
the best person in my life.
So why do you mistreat him?
Because I hate myself.
Okay. Why?
Because this life is not what I had hoped it to be.
But you have to make it.
I know, but
you're a good-looking man.
That's what I'm struggling with.
You have to like you before anybody else could love you. I don't know you. I love you. And I'm sure everybody in the room could tell you they love you because you have something that not one of us in here have. You're an open book. You understand that?
Yes.
And being an open book, what happens? You tell the truth. Or are you a liar?
I always tell the truth.
No, to your fault. You don't always have to speak the truth. If Mark makes shitty fucking gravy, you don't have to tell him so.
I know what you're saying.
I know what you're saying.
I know what you're saying.
Now, you ever forgive your father for all the bullshit he pulled?
I think I have.
You think. You have to know.
I do hold it against him still.
What did you see your father do? This is my, excuse me, everyone. What I'm seeing is like a bar area. Was he a drinker?
No.
All right. What did you witness as a child?
Just anger.
Anger. So anger what? At who?
At his world, but possibly at me not being what...
Because you're gay?
Yeah.
Well, tell him to go fuck himself. Even in death. Now, I want to tell you something very straight up, Steve. Out there, there's no difference of gay, straight, or otherwise. He loves the man that you are.
Okay.
So when I said, how did somebody dare say to a deceased, go fuck yourself? Very simple. Because he's stepping into my world, so now I could answer. He loves you just for who you are. He didn't understand it, but he loves you for who you are. So you're going to sit down, you're going to write Dear Dad a letter and tell him all the things you don't like. But also don't forget to say, I love you. It's the opposite of hate is what? Love. So you really love your father.
I do.
You don't like the things he created.
You're right.
In my book, it tells you a story of my life. My father could be as wonderful, and as wonderful as he was, could be as cruel as... I had a lisp as a child. So my father died. A couple months later, I had a tooth pulled out very strange. That lisp disappeared. I love my father, but it took me a lot of years to forgive him for breaking my chops about my list. All right? So that's my commercial break about the book. Roseanne, we all love our children. Right? But sometimes we overlove and we allow. If you're ready to make a choice, then your life could straighten out. But you have to be able to make that choice. We have to stand firm. I'm not going to mention the issue. You could say to the whole group whatever your issue is that we're talking about. But you have to be ready. If you're ready to surrender, then that person will heal. If you're not ready to surrender, that means by kicking them in the ass. If you're ready for that, then that person will help themselves. Until then, they're not going to help themselves.
Got it.
So nobody feels that why didn't I say Roseanne's story? Roseanne and I worked a little bit together. I know Roseanne for as long as I know Janine. And not necessary that her story be revealed. Because I'm just giving you a little insight. If she was sitting here and I needed to work with her, then we would work. But you know the answer to what we're going to say. Your first name?
Marlene.
Give me your date of birth, Molly.
9/16.
Roseanne, your date of birth?
8/27.
Virgo to Virgo.
No wonder why we're friends.
In your situation, who do you blame, your husband or yourself?
Oh,
Oh,
my son.
okay.
Yeah, well, all right, I blame my husband a little
I
bit.
was just gonna say.
Yeah, I blame my husband a
I was
little
gonna
bit.
raise my hand.
All right, I was getting there. Give me talking.
It's
Why
not
do you
easy.
blame-
It's
No.
not easy. It's-
Oh, there's I could rationalize it, and I know that's nobody's fault, but
Right.
I do blame my husband sometimes of the way he handled the situation. I think sometimes, from when he was younger, not just now. Now he's just overly angry, he can't get past certain things. But I think if he could have handled my son differently even back then, it wouldn't have been so bad now. And now it's just over the edge. It's just over the top of
Your husband ever tell your son, I love you?
far and few between. He does, but he tells him more. He shows him. He doesn't tell him. He shows him more how to despise, how much he's angry at him.
Every child.
Yeah, I know.
My son is 40, 45, and I still tell them I love you. When I see them, I kiss the pillow because it's
It's
very
not gonna
important.
happen. It's not gonna happen.
Well, then this boy ain't gonna heal.
It's not gonna. And there's no. I have no
Because
control.
we sometimes we have children and they become rebellious of whatever we're telling them to do, and the child is being rebellious. But I gave you information yesterday how to
Yes.
help this boy.
But he doesn't want to go. I mentioned it. I mean, I'll force him.
No, you can't force,
But
but you can do.
I can do.
All right, because the belly gets hungry.
Okay.
If he wants to eat in your house, the little
He
prick,
has to go.
then he's got to go. Your belly gets hungry?
You can have.
All right. I thought about how open can I be in front of the forum? I thought about when we sat and we spoke for a few minutes, that he took so many things from the house. He didn't take it, you gave it him. Unfortunately, when children, because you allowed it, when children get into drugs, it becomes very difficult because it's a trial thing. They try a little marijuana, maybe a little coke, a little bit of somebody else's shit, whatever they're ingesting, and they don't realize they're really going to get hooked. And I don't think I'm not a marijuana person, but I don't think marijuana is such a bad thing. It's what other
Goes
things,
after,
right.
leads to.
But if a parent loves a child, the child needs to be told, boy or girl, I love you. Because that makes a bond.
Yes.
A mother has a bond with the child because the child came from the mother's body. The father and child need to learn how to make a bond because the father did his thing 9 months earlier, and then there's a disconnect. And the reconnecting is the rearing of the child, how much you love that child. You don't have to treat that child like a jerk, but you show how much you love. In your case, from the photograph you showed me, I could see where your husband is just stubborn, as stubborn could be. Give me his date of birth.
5/12 is right around his age.
5/12, so he's a
Taurus.
Taurus.
Above.
Stubborn.
Your husband give you everything you want?
Everything.
What doesn't he give you? Not with pertaining to you. What's more important?
Oh,
to you?
what he doesn't give me is the love to my son. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it. I think if he had it in him, he would give it to him, but he doesn't have it in him.
Okay, so now we're gonna go to your husband's childhood.
Forget it.
So that's a mess. So what did he create? Another little mess. But when did your husband listen to you?
When?
When?
In bed. Well,
So he listens to you. Look, she's turning red. Poor thing. Doing the same thing for 30 years and she turns red 30 years later. That's when you talk.
Okay.
You want this, then you listen to what I say. And if you can't hear, he gets up to chore his bull horns. While this is up, you'll make it go down very quick. He's got to hear what you're saying. This boy needs help.
Wow.
And he does. He
Yeah,
does need,
No, it's interesting advice.
you know, because that's the only time some of us men listen.
Yeah, no, he's.
And our most pleasurable, because we want to finish that pleasurable, you know. So the boy needs help.
Yes.
You're not old.
No.
Your husband's not old. We want this boy to live. So you're gonna tell him you wanna eat here, then you go yourself, go find where I told you to go.
Yes, I know the place actually.
All right, go there, check it out, and then you do your homework, and then we get him to go. Steve, did you understand what I was saying before?
Yes.
All right, so what are we gonna do about it?
Oh, what are we gonna do?
No, you tell me. I asked you. You're not gonna ask me. I made the cake, I lemonized the cake, and put the cherry on top. I can't do everything.
We're gonna forgive and we're gonna move on.
Right.
When you're gonna write the journal.
We write the journal.
Yeah. Yes.
We love. We don't have to forget, Steve, but it's nice to forget, but we never really forget. But you have to learn to love, to forgive. You do house painting, Steve?
Yes.
So when you're painting a room, what do you think?
I do creative work. I do plaster finishes and murals and faux finishes. And so I guess it's, is it up to a certain standard? Is it good enough?
Okay. Who works with you?
My partner Mark did, and now I'm really by myself.
Okay. Do you realize you chose a profession that's really a lone profession? You chose to be a painter. He's got to work with a staff.
Yes.
She's got to do her thing. He works with people. Everybody in the room works with somebody. You chose a profession that
Yeah.
by yourself, so your mind could think. So as you're painting this mural, what are you thinking? Are you worried about the lady in the next room? Is she gonna like what I'm doing, or him, or whatever?
Yeah.
Why? Steve, I love all the people here. I am not concerned about what anybody thinks about me. I did my job, I'm doing my job. This is the job I do. I like my job. When you paint, what do you think? You like paint? You like painting, or you want to do something else?
I do something else.
Like what? Tell me. You want
I don't know.
a word of advice? All right? You ready for it?
Yes.
When you're painting, think about you. And you're gonna do a better job than you've ever done.
I just want to know that my mom and dad are in a good place.
So there's no misunderstanding of a good place?
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
And that they know what I did for them, because they both had dementia, and I had to deal with that for a long time. And I always felt I was the villain because I was the one who was there all the time, and I became the villain. So it was very hard for me to deal with that because I was just trying to keep them safe, and I always thought that they were angry at me because they were. But I need to know that now they know better. I just need to know that.
During the time of dementia, would they be angry with you? All right, they'd be frustrated with you? And then later on, they'd laugh?
Not really.
They never found
Well, no, there were times they were okay. My dad had glimmers of being okay. My mom had a very bad stroke, and her dementia got worse and worse, and she was combative, and she would fight me, and I was the only one that would go there and try to take care of them because they were really. It was a real bad situation, a very dangerous situation in their home.
Did you say dementia or Alzheimer's?
Dementia.
Because Alzheimer's, they find humor, I'm sorry.
No, it was dementia. My mom had a brain injury from the hemorrhagic stroke, and her dementia got
Why
worse
am I
and worse.
asking you to talk about their illness?
Why? Because I was their caretaker. I was the one who handled all their medical care.
Because sometimes when we talk about something is when we heal. Yes, they're both fine. We think, some of us think that when we die, that's it, it's over. It's not over. The pain is gone. The troubles are gone. Unfortunately, you witnessed this for how long you witnessed it. And older people, because I'm old, older people, when they have an illness, can become very not nice. And unfortunately, you took the brunt. But don't think on the other side that they don't recognize all the wonderful things that you've given for them. Tell me about silver. Silver.
So
Like a bell, the sound of a bell.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of it.
What was the last holiday?
Well, my mom died 2.5 years ago, and my dad died 2.5 months ago. So the last
That'd be,
he died right before Thanksgiving. So what would the last holiday be? Halloween, I guess.
all right, so it would be near the holidays. you
Yeah,
consider
he
that.
died near the holiday, right before Thanksgiving.
What do you have in your home of your parents?
A lot of things. I
Okay.
took a lot of their things.
Okay. You have a doorbell? Of course you have a doorbell.
Yes,
Your doorbell ever ring on its own?
all the time.
Okay, that's the
My
part.
side doorbell rings all the time.
All right. That's when our loved ones know that they're fine. To let us know that they're fine. Through television, through electronics, through a bell. And that's like the silver bell. They're giving you the gift. That's the way of them saying thank you for all that you've done. And that could be the possibility of
But that started before they died.
say that again?
It started before they died.
Who died before them?
Oh, plenty of relatives.
The father, grandparents?
Grandparents and
That's the way that they ought to call. Everybody out there is letting you know they're fine. And they are fine. Your mother and father are fine. What I'm being shown is a picture of them dancing. So we know that they're fine. I know they're fine, you gotta know they're fine.
They love to dance.
All right, and it's okay for us to cry or to feel our pain. That's part of the healing. That's part of the mourning. Then time goes by and we start forgetting. And we don't forget them, we just let go. Your question?
Does he know I did my best? I just don't want him to be mad at me. I did my best.
Debbie, what makes you think that you didn't do your best?
Because I had to take care of him for 5 years.
So, you took care of him for 5 years, and you think because you weren't there the moment he passed that he's angry at you?
No, I was there.
All right, that's the question I asked you earlier. No, I didn't.
Because I let him go.
All right.
Was I supposed to let him go?
Debbie, listen, hear me, Debbie. Just for a minute. I wanted my mother to stay. I didn't want her to go because I was being selfish. That's my mother. None of us wanted her to go. And my mother, the doctor said to my mother, you could live a very long time. When he walked, because my mother was a rude person to her doctor. When he left the room, she picked up her finger, because my mother was good with her finger, picked up her finger and said, I'll tell him when I'm gonna fucking die. I'm dying April 3rd. None of this nonsense that it's a little cleaner in the book. I'll do what I gotta do. Nobody's gonna tell me what I have to do. And don't stop me. I gotta leave, and I don't want you in the room. So when it was her final moment, we had to leave the room. We followed. You did everything you possibly could do. And he recognizes, your husband recognizes everything that you could do. Even in your moment of anger, if you said, okay, it's time for you to go now. In your moment of anger, we say a lot of things. That doesn't mean he loves you any less, if that's the case. You understand that? Time for him to leave. Just like her father, it was time for him to leave, but unfortunately they made a mistake and they helped him along. And if I don't think you want to know...
Tell me about my grandmother.
Well, first we have to allow your grandmother to come forward.
Well, okay, my mom's mom and how she died.
That's if she chooses to tell me. You have to understand that they choose
Yeah.
to come into the room and tell me what's happening. Your question leads me to believe that it was an unnatural passing.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Huh. Many of our grandmothers are from foreign country.
Mhm.
Where was your grandmother from?
My grandmother's from Iran.
I put down like Russia because it's
Mhm.
in that region over there.
Yeah, all the way over there.
Over there.
Yeah, it's far.
Is there a painting of your grandmother?
There may be.
I have to ask you, how your grandmother died?
Well, that's what I don't know entirely how. There's the story and then there's my belief, and so, and my mom's belief. So, basically the story is she's a stubborn old woman and she was in the hospital with pneumonia and she just pulled the stuff out of her nose and decided to walk out and collapsed.
I believe this is what what I heard. Her death was unnatural.
Mhm.
So whether she created it or somebody created it for her, it's an unnatural death.
Mhm.
Voluntary or involuntary?
Involuntary, unnatural, voluntary, involuntary, and there's gas involved. Doesn't mean that she was gassed to death. In other words, the gases in her own body created her to die. Were you gifted something?
I don't think so.
Was your mother gifted something? Okay. Where did your grandmother live when she...
So my mom's family has lived in Spain for a long time now. And when she died, she was in Iran with her daughter, my mom's stepsister.
Right.
And they were there to do some changing of real estate, some properties and things.
Okay, stop there.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened to the money from the changes and whatnot?
Nothing has actually happened because those changes weren't actually made yet. And the reason that I have my doubts was because the changes were more to make everything whole or available to everybody. And before those changes, they were just made for one person to control the estate.
Okay. You're entitled to money, that's what I wrote.
Mhm.
You're entitled to something, there's money there, there's something there. Excuse, beg your pardon. And eventually it's gonna come around to you. I don't think that we're looking at a woman that was poverty-stricken.
Mhm.
Like a farm, there's something about a farm or land, cultivating there. So I don't believe that this money, this eventually in time. I asked you about self-love and you said, I'm getting there. Now, I'm getting there and being there are two different stories, correct? But I do believe that you're going to go through great changes, but you have to allow it. To bring love into our life, any one of us, to bring love into our life is to make the necessary changes of love, because we have to like ourselves. When our children break our balls and tell us to do certain things that we don't want to do, then we shouldn't be doing it because we raised them. Nor can we tell a 30 or 40-year-old, this is what you need to do. You got it? We all become independent. All right?
Who punched me in the arm last night?
All right. What did you do the night before?
I was in the Dominican Republic. I don't really remember a lot of it. A lot of rum and coke.
That was
But, oh,
You were in bed by yourself.
yes.
I'm going to assume you were in bed by
Yeah, no, I
yourself.
was.
But are you really ever in bed? I think I explained that to you. When a loved one, when a husband or wife passes, and it's time for us to make love, they don't stay in that room. They're gone. They're doing off there, and they really don't give a
This
shit.
wasn't the situation.
No, I know
That's
that.
the point.
But I'm saying, if you ever made love with somebody after your husband passed away, I'm not saying that you did. But what I'm saying to you is, what are you not, sorry, sweetheart, what are you not being aware of? What is he trying to let you know?
I don't know. That's why I'm quite surprised that I fell asleep on the couch watching television and I got punched in the arm.
All right.
Not like, abusive.
No,
you know,
no, okay.
But
So what-
like you. And I kind of,
All right,
it was definitely that.
all right, did you ever sleep on the couch?
Yeah.
We all fall asleep on the couch. What do you do when you're in your bedroom alone? Well, you are alone because you're a widow.
Mhm.
What do you do in your bedroom? What do you hug?
A pillow.
And what does a pill represent?
Just someone to hug.
Someone to hug, love, someone. So here you are on the couch by yourself, so your husband's telling you, go and hug the pillow. It's an expression. He's letting you know that he's there. He's not angry at you because, whatever, he's not angry with you.
He's always there.
You own your own home? When are you putting it up for sale?
Not right now, but
How about the spring, or sometime in the spring? Because you're ready to make changes. You're ready to become a cougar.
Oh my!
You're ready to make, you're ready to enjoy life. You are ready to enjoy life. Are you ready to enjoy life?
yes,
Did you go to the Dominican Republic with?
I have a girlfriend.
A girlfriend. So did you have fun with your girlfriend?
Yeah.
But when you like to go with a guy friend? Yeah, right? It's about enjoying, getting ready to enjoy your life. And that's what you have to do. And that's why he punched stupid, he's saying. What do you do when you're on the couch? Go out and do something, be happy. So you could tell the group you're happy, but are you really happy? Or do you really love yourself?
I'm trying.
Yeah. When I was diagnosed with cancer, 8 or 9 years ago, I was the only we're in a room of 30 people. And they're all waiting to go into the doctor, and the doctor's going to give each and every one of us our death sentence. I sat there writing and laughing hysterical, but they were laughing like, what the hell are you doing? I'd write something, just get hysterical laughing. If I would have bought into the word cancer, I would have bought into the word disease, and how happy would I be? I wouldn't be very content, would I? So what you need to do is find humor in the dis-ease. Dis-ease to me, be uncomfortable with.
Okay.
If you find humor, then you're very healthy, aren't you? I walked into a bar, and Steve will remember the story. He may remember it. This is many, many years ago. And there was a barmaid, and I said to her, your grandfather says hello. And it's a strange Jewish name, Morgenstein. It was a strange name. And she just remained, how do you know that? I said, because he told me you're wearing his wristwatch. And it was a fact. But the next thing I told her was, they're going to say you have, I'm pointing this, so it's not I'm pointing it over, you have breast cancer. You don't have breast cancer. And remember that. So she walked home a couple of years later from Sloan Kettering to the village. And she said, Ed said I don't have breast cancer. Well, the woman didn't have it. If we believe in something, then we receive it. If we feel we're going to be unhappy for the rest of our life, go right ahead, fuck you feel unhappy. Because I'm happy, I'm content, I enjoy life.
Okay.
Because in each one of us, to live, we have to have a dream. God put us here, whether he's male or female, put us here to have dreams and visions and see things. Because without vision and dreams, we have no life. Just find happiness. Each and every one of us has to find happiness.